Hey, we are looking at the Baker Illustrated Guide to the Bible and talking about the book of Judges. The setting is Israel is finally in the promised land, okay? Joshua and his generation have become the older generation of Israel. They were the first ones to enter the promised land, and they remained faithful to God. However, these newer generations of Israelites who grew up in the promised land, their behavior and obedience has changed drastically. They have become mostly like the Canaanites that they allowed to live in not completely destroy. The message of Judges shows a few things. First, it shows the failure of Israel to keep the Mosaic covenant. There's a rapid downward decline, both theologically and morally. And the Israelites begin to repeat a terrible cycle. They sin and they turn from God. Then a foreign nation overruns them and oppresses them. They get tired of this oppression and they cry out to God for help. And then God sends a judge to deliver them. And then they do it over and over and over. It's a vicious cycle that they continue to repeat throughout the book of Judges. The outline shows a cycle of disobedience in the first few chapters of Judges. Then there's 12 judges in a downward spiral of Israel. That's through chapter 3 through 16. And then the last chapters of Israel show how Israel basically hits complete rock bottom, okay, and having lots of problems. Ultimately, your book says in page 35, on page 35, Judges illustrates for us the tragic consequences of sin. Once people abandon worshiping God, they usually embrace the corrupt morals of their surrounding culture quickly, spiraling downward both morally and theologically. The most amazing thing about the book of Judges is that the Bible does not end there. That is, after reading Exodus and Deuteronomy, it is surprising that the terrible sin of Israel in Judges does not bring about the end of the story. God should simply destroy them. We get a good picture of the depth of God's grace and mercy as we read on and realize that in spite of Israel's terrible sin, God will still send them real deliverers, and some of them being Samuel, David, and ultimately Christ. Thanks.